The mailing label options of the photo booth operator allows you to create your own marketing mailing labels in a couple of different fashions. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. First, on the left side, we have the label options, in which case you can select a label size, from what mailing lists, or to use the address list of common areas of the photo booth operator. And on the right, we have kind of a preview, not of what the labels would look like, but what the printout sheets look like. So in this example, we're using the Avery label number 5163, which are 2x4 labels. There are 10 labels to a sheet. That's why you get your 10 sort of labels here. If we were to switch this around and go with the 5160s, which is 2 5/8 by 1, you'll see the photo booth operator now gives us the 30 labels that show up on that sheet. I'm going to go back to the 2x4s here. What this is presented for is on the right is not just to show you kind of what the printout images or sheets look like, but also you may have sheets whereby out of the 10, the first 3 have already been taken by some previous printout. If that is the case, then you have an opportunity to place X's by the ones you don't want it printed on. So like in our case here, we had the first 3 were already printed, so it will not print. So the printout will begin on the 4th label here. These go in kind of a crisscross pattern. So if it was 4, it wouldn't be some X down here. It would be this next one. So let's go crisscross, crisscross, crisscross. You can do all of them under no circumstances, because then you'd have a completely blank sheet. But you can easily do none of them by clicking on this one here. Go back over here, and we now get to decide whether we'd like to use one of our predefined mailing lists, or if we'd like to use the list of clients, venues, operators, or partners. In our case here, we're going to go with a list that's been kind of pre-populated. Then we have ability to kind of filter that list. Now, if we don't do anything here at all, we just click Next Step, what's basically going to happen is it's going to go and print labels on every single one of the addresses that are available in that list. Okay. Now, some of your lists can become quite large, thousands of entries. Additionally, if you happen to have a list that contains wedding dates, you may have a very large number of entries that are simply outdated. This is your chance to filter those down and really drill down and get specifics. And you'll see here there's quite a few more options. So first we have to select a field that we would like to apply a condition to. First name, last name, full name, address, city, state, zip, email, phone, wedding date, and age. So let's just say, for instance, we would like to make sure that we're only printing out to specific wedding dates after a time frame. Then we get to indicate what kind of condition, and this is the real meat and potatoes here. So what we're saying here is that we're going to go through all the addresses on this list. We're going to look for wedding dates that equal, do not equal, are greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, or equal to, less than. So what we're going to say is we're going to look for wedding dates that are greater than, and then we're going to give a value here. Okay. Now, the photo booth operator does not necessarily know exactly what you're looking for, so you got to be very specific. The value here on the wedding date, it's going to be the format that is used throughout the photo booth operator, which is month/day/year. And we're just going to do all the ones from 2013. So 01/01/2013. Okay? Now, if I click Next here, it will give me a list of all those wedding dates that are greater than 01/01/2013. But let's say that I had a little bit more that I'm looking for. So I click More, which is to add another condition. Then I can say, okay, this is going to be an and/or situation, and this is a very important distinction that everybody needs to be very familiar with. So if I say and at this point and set my new conditions, the photo booth operator is going to say, okay, on this 2013 list, I'm only going to give you items that have a wedding date greater than January 1st of 2013 and entries that have whatever conditions I've set. It's a lot more restrictive, and you only get the specific and exact what you've entered. If I select or, however, it opens me up to wider range. So I could say wedding dates greater than January 1st of 2013, or let's say, brides aged 18 to 25. That then would give me a broader view, because if either one of those conditions is met, it will present that information. To show you how restrictive we can get here, though, I'm going to go with an and I'm going to say an age that is less than, and I'm going to say 30, because I'm going to target young brides getting married this year. I'm going to go ahead and click my next step so that the photo booth operator can apply its filters and give me the results. Okay, so photo booth operator now comes and says, okay, based on the template that you've selected, we have 3 different options for what you would like the printouts to be. Either 1, your logo image with your address, 2, your company name with your address, or just the receiver's address only. It's totally up to you which way you'd like to go. We're going to go with the company name and address. Then it gives me my results. So it found 21 results. 21 have a full address. All of them are selected. I have my familiar select all, select none. I can generate my labels right now, or I could change my criteria. And it tells me that I am showing results from the 2013 list where wedding date is greater than 1/1 of 2013 and the age is less than 30. So if you take a look here, there are all my ages. They're in their 20s. And there are all my wedding dates. They're all taking place in 2013. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the criteria to kind of show you how things change up. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this age condition. I don't care what age they are. Heck, everybody needs a good photo booth, right? So we hit that. And now I'm only going to be shown weddings that are taking place this year, no matter what age they are. I click next step. And you'll see now that I've gone from 21 results to 27 results. A quick scan down my list shows, oh, there's a 38-year-old, there's a 42, there's a 30. So it didn't care what age they were, it gave me those to choose from. So now, if I'm going along this list and I realize, oh, you know what, I actually already have Cassie Cohen as a client, I can go ahead and remove a check mark, and that will not be included in the list. What this could be very useful for is if you are going through your list and not only find existing clients, but perhaps there's someone that's missing some information, or it just does not quite fit what you're looking for. Maybe I think, okay, 42, odds are they're not going to get a photo booth, so maybe I want to exclude them as well. So Carla Gregory has been excluded. And then I can generate my labels. I'm going to do so real quick here, just to kind of show you what that looks like. I click Generate Labels. And real quick, before I do that, we have 27 total, but I've removed 2 of them. So we should get 25 labels generated. Photo booth operator tells me my labels have been generated, and it is 25 labels. Since it's 10 labels to a page, that spans over 3 pages. Now I can go ahead and change my criteria again, if maybe that's not quite what I wanted. Or I can view and print the labels. So let's take a look and see what that looks like. We click the View Print Labels. And the photo booth operator now gives us an Adobe PDF file with all the addresses that we wanted, pre-formatted. And all we have to do is simply print them out. There's page 1, there's page 2, and there's page 3. When we go to print, it is extremely important that you make sure that in somewhere on your print window, and it varies depending upon what type of printer you have, but many of them will have a size option, and it will have something that is, if not identical, is similar to this, where it says fit, actual size, or shrink, maybe even fit to scale. These PDFs are generated to be an actual size. So you'll want to make sure that that is checked. The only way that it's going to print out on those labels accurately is if you select actual size. Okay? If you select fit or shrink, it's not going to line up. You're not going to have labels that fit perfectly on those stickers. All right, we're going to go and cancel this out. We're going to close our PDF. We're going to go ahead and change our criteria. Change the criteria again. Because basically what we're saying on the last screen was that we want to change the criteria of what the printouts. Maybe we want our company name and address instead of just the receiver address. But we're going to change the criteria entirely. And what I'm going to say is I'm going to go, and now I am going to mark it to young brides. So I want brides that are less than 30 years old. Click Next Step. And the photo booth operator tells me I have 21 results. Similar to what I was doing with the weddings this year. This list is obviously a more up-to-date one, and that's why it's so limited. We also used a smaller list. And so this time I want to include the company name. So I click the Generate Labels button. Click View and Print. And there we see now the company name and address, the dividing line, and then the labels that we wanted printed.